the channel. This is the Refined Iron Podcast. My name is Joseph. First of all, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am a Christian. I'm a 36-year-old husband and father of two wonderful little girls. I have a gorgeous family. And a little bit about what I want to do with this channel is just to talk about the practical life of being a husband, life of being a father, working man, and just, trying to share the practical life and the practical aspect of walking in a biblical way, in a biblical manner, how to be a biblical husband and a biblical father, how to set the standards and the examples for what it means to be a husband and a father in this modern world, how to approach certain situations given the circumstances that men face today in life and that we as Christians as a whole face today in life. So I'll tell you a little bit about my testimony. I was born in San Antonio, Texas, so I'm from the South. I'm currently living in Maryland. I grew up partially in San Antonio as well as Victoria, Texas, and even in Louisiana. I can probably tell a little bit by my accent. But I was raised in the church. My father was a music minister in a Baptist church, a Southern Baptist church. He was a godly man. He loved the Lord. He's no longer with us today. He's in a much better place now. But so a little bit more about myself. I fell away from the Lord some years. I would probably venture to say that I was never truly walking with the Lord because I didn't know what salvation really was. I just believed that you just had to say that you believed in Jesus and that you were saved and that you were walking with Him, right? Which I think is pretty common and pretty relatable to a lot of people in this world today. But it was about 2017 when I came to know the Lord once more. My wife and I were just at a point in our marriage where we just knew things had gotten stagnant. We didn't know what that next step was going to be. Life seemed like it was just starting to kind of get boring, and we just thought, maybe it's children that we want. And we began to say that if we were going to have children, we wanted to raise them up in church. And at the time, we just thought, being Sunday Christians was what it was all about. Just go to church every Sunday, raise your kids in a church, you be good people, and you go to heaven, right? But during that time of going to seek to find a home church, it was where we found Christ, truly found Christ and gave our lives to Him, right? My wife had a radical change within one service, and, I myself, over a period of time, began to change and began to have different, process of sanctification. That was in Nashville, Tennessee. We were living there while my wife was there for work. She was in the property management business. During that time, we began to, try to conceive a child. We moved to Austin, Texas after Nashville. And during our time in Austin, I fell into a pretty dark place spiritually. I fell into a place where I was struggling a lot with pornography. I was struggling a lot with gaming. I wanted to be a content creator, but in the gaming aspect, I really wanted to seek out to be a competitive gamer. I had seen that people made a lot of money doing it. Gaming is something I've always done since childhood. It's second nature to me. So it was something that I had a passion for, and I thought, man, like I could have I could do this for a living. I could make money doing this. Like what better way, right, than to, Einstein always said, find something you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. So that was kind of my mindset behind that. But I also have a huge passion for fitness. In about 2010, I began to work out and to change my dieting habits and my eating habits and my, fitness habits. I began to start working out and, eating right and nutrition. It became a passion of mine. Around 2014, I wanted to become a personal trainer. So I've kind of ventured on that. I am a licensed personal trainer, although I don't practice coaching anymore. So now I'm just full-time, working a traditional 9-to-5, father and husband of two girls. Shortly before we moved here to Maryland, we attended a retreat with a church that we go to now here in Maryland. And it was at this retreat that, I had a pretty radical encounter with God. It was the first time in my Christian walk that I had encountered God in a significant way. It was the first time that I had ever felt like the physical presence of God. For those of you who ever have, you know what I'm talking about. It's just when when that presence hits you, man, and it's just so sweet and it's so surreal, and it's just the sweetest moment, the sweetest thing you could ever experience. Words can't describe the emotion. Words can't describe the the feelings that you get. It's just, I just remember I just fell to my knees, just weak, but at the same time, yet I felt so relieved and so much pressure off my back. And it was in that moment that I was delivered from all my struggles. After that retreat, I went home. I put away my gaming console. I no longer watched pornography. I had put that away, put that behind me. I was done with it. I was delivered from that. I had received a radical deliverance. It was just a moment where a brother prayed for me, who is now a very good friend of mine. I know Leland Cole, the Men of Impact podcast, but he had prayed for me, and he prayed a very specific word for me. And at the time, little did he know this word was something that had been going through my mind for quite a bit of time. Is, when I was struggling in that dark place with pornography and the things that I was going through, I just remember thinking many times, Lord, if this is what the Christian walk is all about, if it's all about this condemnation and just feeling depressed and sad and just feeling so broken and alone all the time, I don't want it anymore. Just let me go back to the world, because at least when I was in the world, if I watched this stuff, I didn't have to feel guilty about it, because the world tells you that it's okay. The world tells you that it's normal, right? It's become a normal part of our society. And this was just a thing that I had struggled with so deeply and so badly. And when he prayed for me, he prayed to me a very specific word, that you can't walk away from God, and he will not let you go. He has plans for you and for your life, and he will take you and develop you and mold you into the person and into the vessel that he needs to use you. And I just remember at that moment, man, it just hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And I just crumbled to my knees, and in that moment, I felt the presence of God come over me. It's the sweetest relief, the sweetest moment of my life. I cherish it forever. And anytime anybody ever tells me that, the Christian walk isn't supernatural, I know now, for my own experience, that that's not the case. My testimony, this is a little bit about who I am. My plan for this channel is to hopefully teach some people out there who may struggle going through some of the similar things in life, right? Trying to find their way to a Christian walk, or maybe you're an unbeliever and you're finding this channel, but maybe you're looking for something, right? And you don't know quite or what you're missing. And I just pray that the Lord would use this, and I pray that this would be an opportunity for you to find Christ and to find God, right? And to find that in your life, that missing thing, that hole in your heart that you can't seem to fill with anything that the world offers, right? No money, no satisfactions of the world can ever fill it. And it's only in Christ that we can find that. My plans with this channel will be to teach a little bit about, obviously, the Word, help to dive into the Word together. I hope that you'll be with me on this journey as we dive into the Word, as we dive into studies. We contextualize the scriptures, and learn how to apply them in a practical way. Apply biblical principles to our lives. Apply biblical principles to our lives in terms of the Christian walk, how to live faithfully, as a husband or as a father, and of course how to also take care of your body, and how to treat your body like a temple, because the Word says that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And one of my biggest passions is fitness and taking care of my body, eating properly, exercising, getting stronger, growing, build that discipline, what it looks like to build that discipline in your life, practical discipline as well as spiritual discipline, right? And I think we can all grow from that, learning and growing. I'm 36-year-old. I'm not, old by any means. I've still got so much growth, that I have a long life, and Lord willing, we'll still be here. And I know the Lord's not finished sanctifying me. I'm far from a finished product. And so I hope that we can go on this journey together. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you back for more. Stay on the lookout for more. Once again, my name is Joseph, and I look forward to spending more time with you in the Word.